Good morning, guys, and welcome to Saturday. Normally our long run, but technically day 3 of my recovery run this week. As you see, this morning it was 86 degrees and 55% humidity. So fun, but that's okay. Explains the shine. Definitely noticed some improvements today. I'll be happy to talk to you more about that. Legs definitely felt like doing their own thing, and we've got just under 2 days recovery. Actually, not too bad for the 7-mile run. As you saw, I ran 7.05 miles, and my average pace was 8:04. That includes my warm-up mile, so you know something happened. All right. Oops, you know what? I forgot to check VO2 max. Well, we could do that on the website. There you go, 10,000 steps. I am good. So let's go upstairs and weigh in. Alright, let's see how things are looking this week. Yeah, there's only a 7-mile run, so nothing too crazy. Okay, not too bad. Alright, BMI is 23.7, 8.1% body fat. 67.1% water. Water's up, definitely. 65 pounds of muscle. I'm not quite certain if that's up or down. Bones look like they're kind of recovering. Alright, 156.3. Alright, let's get my shower. I'll meet you downstairs. Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Saturday of week 10 of my marathon training program. And this is also what normally should be long run day, as actually for week 10 this week, as you know, is day 3 of my recovery, as far as my 3rd day of running for recovery. And so if you guys are new to the channel, this week I kind of took off from my regular training, scheduled training plan due to some muscular overuse, leg fatigue, and I was feeling pains from it. So as we know, taking time off can be detrimental to our success and our progress. So learning to work around your injury, switching up your training, either reducing the miles or reducing the intensity or both, either way is definitely a good way to help keep yourself moving, but yet allow yourself time to recover. Because clearly sitting on the couch waiting for the pain to go away is really, it's unproductive. It doesn't help us whatsoever. So before we get started, let's go ahead and do our daily shot of wheatgrass. For those who are new to the channel, 1 shot of wheatgrass does equate to 2 pounds of fresh, raw, green vegetables as far as nutritional value. Yes, this is true. Now, I did something different this morning, so we'll see exactly how this pans out, and I'll tell you after I drink this. Alright, we're going to have to up the recipe on that a little bit, but it's alright. Alright, yeah, we'll definitely up the recipe on that, but it's noticeable. So what did I do? Well, you guys watch day in and day out as I drink wheatgrass, and it's gotten better, but it's still wheatgrass. Okay, it's clearly not going to make, it's not going to put Kool-Aid out of business anytime soon. However, something I did decide to do was, I have fresh mint growing outside, and a couple of years back I bought one of those little fresh mint plants you buy at like the Walmart, the produce section, and they were like what, $3 or $4 or something, pretty inexpensive. Well, I nursed that thing along, I let it grow, and then I planted outside. For those who don't know, mint is a spreader. It will take, it's like a weed per se. It will take over wherever you've got it growing. And I've got some Texas sage out there right now that's fighting for land space because mint is just taking over. However, so what I did was I went out and picked 4 leaves of fresh mint and added it to my wheatgrass as I juiced it. Because this way you have a fresh mint taste, and next time I'll go ahead and up the ante a little bit so that maybe it's a little bit more mint dominant, because if you've never had fresh mint, try it. You'll truly like it. For those who drink, it's used popular in mojitos, and so you can definitely appreciate that. Or if you don't drink, if you have mint, fresh mint, put some in a glass, kind of squish it, squish it with I forgot they have like a little pounder thing. I don't know the name of it, but what you can do is basically squish it into a glass and then add it to even like lemon lime soda, and then you'll have a fresh mint taste with that. So that's kind of a unique way of mixing that up. So that's that. And so I don't have a lot to show you today, but I've got a couple neat things. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I did up the ante to 7 miles, and this is generally the same course I run on Thursday, the same exact course. So that's pretty simple there. Average moving pace was 8:03. That includes my warm-up mile. I spent 782 calories doing this. I worked that out to about 110 calories a mile. Garmin says it's 88. I forgot what Google said this morning, but I think it's pretty close. Oh, and humidity 49%, so those guys are pretty much on the number with that. So I definitely felt it. I was swimming in my clothes on the way home. I did stop twice early on. One because it felt like I had like a pebble or something like that in my shoe around my ankle, so cleared it up early on. And then of course I got stuck with the traffic at my normal 1 mile street. So that's the reason for those two gaps there. And then we looked down here in the red. I had the little heart rate spike thing early this morning, but I got that cleared up. And the heart rate pretty much moved along considering I was running on pace today, so not too bad. But what I really want to bring to your attention here is our cadence area. This is our cadence line, and I started out 178, fine, get going 180, cruising along here about 184, and then every now and then I drop down to 182. For whatever reason, I don't stay there. I personally can't explain it, but so 184, 182. The nice thing the nice thing about this, and really shows me my legs are getting better, which, by the way, yes, I'm like on a pain scale of 1 to 10. Probably this morning was probably about a 2, maybe 2.5, whereas earlier this week I was running probably on a 4. And you're thinking, oh, that's not a lot. You're right, it's not a lot, but I didn't have that. I didn't have that sensation of my knee giving out, so that's a good thing. And I got to thinking about that, and even though I acknowledge I have some anterior tibialis pain, which is the muscle right here in the front of your foot, this muscle here allows your foot to do what's called the dorsiflexion motion of your foot, where it pulls your toes up, whereas your calves do the plantar flexion. So your calves pull up, bring your foot down, and your anterior tibialis pulls up, bring your foot up. And so we have dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, and those are two muscles that allow our foot to do this, pretty much. Now, I was starting to wonder, well, what was really triggering that giving away feeling? And my belief is because the pain in the anterior tibialis was kind of really getting to me, what was happening is that even though during the plantar flexion motion of your foot, when your foot comes down, so you got your calves pulling the foot this way in order to get the toes to extend to the ground. However, you still have your anterior tibialis engaged to control that descent. So you have, and this is personal training terms, so if your trainer talks like this, you know where I got it. So you have your calf, you have your soleus and your gastrocnemius doing what's called the agonist motion. It's agonizing it, it's pulling it. And then you have your anterior tibialis doing the antagonist. It's controlling how much it lets go, because obviously its job is to pull the toes up. However, as an antagonist, it controls how quickly the toes go down by resisting the motion of it going down as the calves are trying to pull it down. So these two work back and forth simultaneously to control a smooth operation of our feet in both directions. So my belief was, because my anterior tibialis was hurting so much, it's just like, fuck it, so to speak. And then that's why all the muscles just for a quick second would just relax and let go, because they want, you know, when your muscles are relaxed, you tend not to feel pain. And so I think that's what my legs were doing, was simply just relaxing, you know, for fractions of a second, because the you know, like the pain, and that's what was giving me that sensation. Now, with that said, today I wasn't feeling that. I got maybe a little inkling, but none of that. You know, I got the inkling, meaning that pain, the sensation or pain I feel before it happens, but it didn't happen. So that told me my legs were healing. And now seeing this with my strides, my run cadence, that confirms what I was looking at. Now, looking at average run cadence, this column here, you can see I did 1 mile. At mile 3, I averaged 184, and then it came down to 183, and then even down to 182 towards the end. So this tells me something. This tells me, yes, my legs are healing, they are getting better, and it feels better. Now we look at Thursday's run, and let's see if I still have a highlight. Yeah, Thursday's run. You could see here, I was seriously 184 with small bits of 186. That was Thursday. Look at Tuesday's run. Confirm here. See up here, we got Tuesday. And I was just making a mountain with this drawing between 184 and 186 all over. And we see my average run cadence was 185 at times, 184 at times. Whereas here, and this is Thursday, my average run cadence was pretty solid 184. And now Saturday, my average run cadence, I hit 184 once, and then it comes down to 183, and then finishes off at 182. So things like that show me progress, and that makes me feel good, because when you train for a marathon, some of us just train to cross the finish line. I get that. Others train for a specific time goal or PR, such as myself. And so it becomes a race against yourself. And so taking time off goes against the plan. It just does. And so when I see stuff like this, that makes me feel good. That lets me know that what I think I'm feeling can be seen by the numbers. So I feel good about that. And the fact that I went through 7 miles today, that too says something. So as far as I'm concerned right now, next week, business as usual. Now let's go ahead and wrap this up. Today, clearly you can see my legs felt like running. Mile 3, it popped out at 7:50. Now, yes, I hit 8:02 here. Why? Because my average moving pace was 7:42. Because yes, I got stuck at the light, hence this white gap here. So, or not the light per se, but I got stuck at the street. And then after that, yeah, my legs felt like running. They felt like running, and my average moving pace, pretty tight. Again, within 4 or 5 seconds. Here, really nice. Within 2 seconds, really close. Here, 3 seconds. Here, 5 seconds. So clearly, I was maintaining a pretty steady pace for the most part, and I'm happy about that. And so I feel good about that. And then also, we see my stride length is opening up just a little bit. Let's go with Thursday. I hit 110. I hit a 111 a couple times, 114 once, put some 110s. Did I hit 114 at all? No, I hit 112 at the end, hit 112 early on. But if we go back to, no, that was last Saturday, I'm sorry. We go back to Tuesday, and you can see I was doing 109. So even that lets me know my legs are starting to open back up. So I'm happy about that. So that's kind of all I have for you guys today. Oh, one other thing. I'm putting a link to these guys in the description box, because I ran to this, and this, above and beyond these, because see this is a 2-hour track. These guys are my Saturday morning run. Why? Because it's 2 hours. It's pretty much non-stop, other than every now and then the DJ might talk about something, but it's not that interruptive. And real quick, well, so you can imagine kind of getting into your run, you're feeling good, you're listening to that. that's not too bad. That's some pretty, give it a listen, see if it's something you like or not. But because, again, this is the end of week 10 for me, and there's always that the hope, for improvement, for progress, especially when the legs come into it. This music just kind of really worked. It just really fit the moment, it fit the run, and I think it probably helped contribute to those sub 8-minute paces too. So that's that. And then also, as I share with you guys, I'm definitely, I'm no stranger to injury. This next picture here I've got on my screen I believe it was the 2010 PF Chang's marathon. Oh, by the way, this is my 4th marathon. We talked about the Porta Potty World Tour last week. This is the race, the Portland Marathon. These guys definitely have some cool swag. I gotta give them credit. So if you're up in that area, definitely check out the race. It's a beautiful race. And the first race, I spent all the entire 26 miles in light to medium rain, so that was kind of interesting. But going back to this point here, during my second PF Chang's, I managed to take on that blood blister. I remember telling you guys about either last Saturday or the Saturday before. I remember telling you guys about it. Well, I found the picture. This is the picture, and remember that story about the cherry tomato or the grape I felt like I squished? This is where it was at. And this all stayed within the skin. It never broke the skin. But this happened about mile 13. So I spent 13 miles running on this. I was not going to let that stop me. And although I've taken 2 blood blisters in the foot before, because this kind of had a heart shape, I decided to make fun with it. So I heart running. So that was my little cute, smiley, fun thing there. And it's just a great way of having a good attitude about, about things when things don't go well. When that did happen, like I said, I could feel that sensation in my foot. Something wasn't right. However, something I learned from just some runner on the bus one time before. And I think it was that given race, I had taken a second pair of socks. So this way I could run in dry feet. And that runner I met on the bus, when I say bus, because back then, and I don't know how they do it now, but back then, actually I do know how they do it now, because, actually I take that back. Back when I ran PF Chang's here in Phoenix, you parked in the ASU parking lot in Tempe, Arizona, and you got on those long yellow school buses, the long ones, like the high schools would use, the big ones, long ones. And they took that school bus and they took you to the starting line, which was downtown Phoenix. And I met some runner on the bus, and I mentioned this new little running plan I plan to do. And this runner told me, whatever you do, don't take your shoes off, in the middle of your run, because it's going to feel so good to let your toes air out. You're not going to want to put your feet back in the shoes. And so when this happened, I took the liberty of recalling that conversation on the bus, and I didn't look at it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want it to blow off my focus, and so I just dealt with it. Yes, I did a lot of kind of running on the side of your foot thing to kind of alleviate some of the impact on it, but I got through it. So yes, I'm clearly no stranger to injury. I've done the foot thing. I've done twice. The second one, I didn't get a cool picture out of my blood pattern, so I didn't take a picture of it. But it happens, and so I'm no stranger to injury. And learning to run through your injury while healing at the same time, that's the science of it. That's like an art and science. And so, when in doubt, as you know, listen to your body, because that's what I've been doing. And you can see this week the numbers show that listening to my body is paying off because my body is recovering. So that takes care of my 3rd recovery running day for week 10. Next week goes back into regular training program, unless my body has a different opinion. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, always, please leave your questions and comments below. I'll always be happy to address them. And if you're new to the channel, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday I post a new video. And outside of this week, which has been recovery week, normally Tuesdays are intervals, Thursdays are now tempo runs, and then Saturdays are long runs. So tune in to see what progress is, how much progress is being made and how things are evolving for me, because perhaps you might be able to use some of this in your own marathon or race training programs. So that's all I've got for you guys today. You guys have a great Saturday, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.